Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Bladensburg Town Council meeting for Monday, March the 9th, 2026. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here tonight, as well as those watching virtually. At this time, I call the meeting to order. I will now ask Councilmember McBride to give us the opening prayer.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for everyone that's been allowed to assemble here in the town hall, those that are on Zoom or Facebook. We ask you to bless this meeting on tonight. We ask you to come together in unity and in strength that we may be able to do what benefits the town of Bladensburg.
Amen. Thank you, Councilmember McBride. For those who are able to stand, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We will now proceed with the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt.
Second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Are there any corrections or edits to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, I will call for the votes. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is there any nays? The ayes have it. The ayes have it. The agenda has been approved. Also, we will need to vote to excuse our mayor, Takesha Jane, from tonight's meeting. Is there a...
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt.
Second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. All in favor?
Councilmember Brown.
Councilmember Brown, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
All in favors?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you. Okay, thank you. So we just want to apologize for the late start. We had some technical difficulties, and thanks to Mr. Rick for working on getting us back on track. All right, we will move right into our agenda. We have presentations by Ms. Renee, our Patriotic Committee. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor, Council, Town of Bladensburg staff and citizens. I'm Renee Green, Patriotic Coordinator. I will mark your calendar for Memorial Day. It's coming around the corner, May 25th. That's Monday. And we'll have the ceremony at 11 o'clock, followed by a luncheon. We're still in need for a speaker, and the requirements is that the speaker does need to be a veteran. So if you know of a veteran and you think that they would want to be a speaker, please let me know or call the town and let them know of someone that you feel would be a great person and a great speaker. We'll have more details on the July 4th fireworks celebration coming up. And as you know, this is the 250th anniversary of the country. So we're going to have a wide variety of events coming up. And I've been working on the Boswick documentary and have the tour completed and the rest of the documentary soon. I had been, I was fortunate a couple of weeks ago, I was down in Nashville. And I went and saw a museum down there, and they had a really cool display, like a screen where they just had a reel of what was the history of the museum. And it would be something like that would be really nice to have, for Boswick. So that's just something to think about in the future. Does anyone have any questions or is anything else? Okay, that's it. All right. All right. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Renee, for always giving us those reminders. We appreciate you and the hard work that you are doing. Thank you so much. Council, do you have any comments or questions for Ms. Renee?
Memorial Day, just so that people will know, it's going to be held at the Peace Cross, and then,
Memorial Day is at Memorial Park. Yeah, wait 1 second. Now you got me confused. See,
so that people know you have
yeah, yeah, the Peace Cross. The Memorial Day is at the Peace Cross, and it's Veterans Day is over at the Memorial Park. Good question.
Thank you, Ms. Renee.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And so today is a great day for our town, the town of Bladensburg, our community. We had a major investment in our youth violence prevention in the town of Bladensburg. We want to thank the leadership of Senator Angela Alsobrooks and Senator Chris Van Allen and Congressman Glenn Ivey for donating the $450,000 congressional discretionary funding to support a new gun violence and juvenile diversion program that will be launched. There are going to be 2 programs in the community-based initiative for at-risk youth, risk at youth. And these programs will focus on boxing-based mentorship program and promotes discipline, confidence, and personal growth. And the second program will focus on educational programming and technology engagement designed to build a skills and strengthening positive relationship between youth and law enforcement. And our acting chief Fishcon will dive into that later on. Thank you so much. And next on the agenda, we will have the approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve minutes for February 9th, 2026 work session?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Are there any correction or comments to the work? All in favor? Hearing none, all in favor, let me understand the pass.
Aye.
Is there any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you. And next, we will move into public comments. Over to you, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We only have one person signed up, Mr. Steve Weiss.
Yeah, I'd like to say Renee and I are on the Amen Trust Board, and we've really appreciated the council's support and the town staff working with us. It's been really exciting to see a lot of projects going forward with the Bostwick House, and so we just want you all to know that we really appreciate all that you've done to move that forward. And so we're really going to miss Michelle. It's hard to keep up with her. She's got 10 projects going at once, and somehow she manages to keep them all going and get them done. I've served with her on the green team, and we said we got a planter over at the post office box. Maybe we could put some flowers in there, and she took care of it. It was beautiful last summer, so we look forward to that again this year, this coming summer. But we're really going to miss Michelle, and we just wish the best for you in your future endeavors. And don't forget to stop back by and visit once in a while.
I will definitely be back to see you, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to financial business. Over to you, Mr. Tennell.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Temp and council members. Before you is the FY25 draft audit. We had a thorough presentation from our auditor last Monday, Ms. Eva Webb from LSWG. And she reviewed the audit and took questions from the council, and also briefly went over some highlights at the work session, and presenting this to you to be approved tonight, so we can go ahead and submit this to the state. Even though the state already has a draft, we just want to go ahead and tell them, yes, it's final. So if you have any questions or anything I can answer.
Councilmember Brown?
Yeah, thank you. Just real quick, in terms of, because, some people weren't able to tune in at 5:30, and we know they can go back, but however, the pension liability increase, can you just touch on that real quick for?
Sure. The pension liability increase, we had a large increase this year. Last year, the pension liability was just over $400,000. This year, it ballooned to over $1.4 million. As a $1 million jump in the liability for a small town, that is significant. And that is because of the actuarial losses with the state pension plan is passed down to all the PGUs, of participating government units. So instead of being shown on the state's balance sheet, it's passed down to all the members. So everybody takes a piece of that liability and reports it. And Michelle and I went through some other town audits to see if they were being hit, and everybody was. And it's because of increasing staffing, increasing earnings, and as more people get closer to retirement age, the liability increases. So that was a major wake-up call, I guess you can say. Unexpected, because we don't know those losses until close to the audit completion. It doesn't affect cash, but it does affect your overall balance sheet. And it's something that we're going to have to watch. And we also had to take a $400,000 or $500,000 expense against the current portion of that total liability balance, and that was on there as well. So that was significant, and we'll see how the state performs, so their pension plan performs next year.
Thank you, Mr. Vita. Thank you, Councilmember Brown, for that question. Any other question from the council? Thank you. As I said in the 5:30 meeting, thank you for a clean audit. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the hard work that you've been doing.
I appreciate that, and I encourage anybody that has any questions, go back to that March 2nd work session, because they did a very thorough walkthrough. And as I started off the work session, as you said, we have, again, a clean audit opinion, which is the main thing you strive for each and every audit.
Thank you. And we'll move on to back over to you, Mr. Tinelli. FY 2027
You have
budget.
to take a vote on it. You got to take a vote on it.
I'm sorry.
Need a motion.
Motion and a second, yeah.
Is there a motion
That's so
to move by Councilmember Blunt?
Go ahead, finish your motion.
Is there a motion to move action item update FY 2025 audit?
I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Brown. Is there any questions? All in favors? Let me says aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. And we will move on to information memo, FY 2027 budget update. Over to you, Mr. Tinelli, Michelle.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm sharing on screen. We touched on this at the work session. This is our first real walkthrough of the budget that we're going to start our budget work sessions around. And next Monday for our budget work session on the 17th, is it Monday or Tuesday? We will go through on Tuesday 17th, we'll go through the revenues and the administrative department budgets. What's in front of you, that first page is a summary of the revenues by major groupings. You can see the real estate taxes by assessments only, and no tax increases, have increased 4% over this current fiscal year. We're looking at that far right column, by the way. The business personal property tax assessments have increased 25% just this year over previous fiscal years, but only budgeted a 6% increase next year. And that is because of filing timing differences, I think, but I think it's also because of a strong economy. And we'll see if that holds through the next filing year, which will hit the next budget year. Income and other taxes, I did a 7% increase based on our revenues at the end of last fiscal year and what we're seeing this year. Again, income tax revenues are higher than they have been the past few years, which is a positive sign. State funding, what the big difference is there, why it went from 1.8 million to 754,000, is I didn't include the bond bill projects in there. I didn't include the big capital items in there. The only thing included there in the state funding is a highway user revenues and the state aid for police protection. They're around three and a quarter to 350. I'm sorry, between 350 and 375 and change each. But I kept the bond bill projects out of there because we got to see what we can actually complete next year before we put that into the budget instead of putting the whole amount in there. Again, this is more of just the operating budget. I didn't put the capital items in there. The other major revenue item there is the service charges, and that is for the speed camera. That's for all of our automated safety programs, including speed camera, red light enforcement, and stop sign enforcement. And between those programs, we have budgeted $1.6 million. This fiscal year, we budgeted $1.1 million, and through February, we've already brought in $1 million, and that's before even the stop sign cameras are up and going. So while I don't like to rely heavily on these programs, they are generating revenue, and we have to realize it. And the balance of $53,000 is for parking enforcement citations. Again, that is very conservative right now, but it's a very positive trend right now. And other revenues is interest income on our cash balances and also other items such as insurance reimbursements. We get a rebate from our health insurance carrier and a dividend from our workers' comp carrier. They're smaller, but of course they do help. And so the operating revenues without any major capital things is almost $10.3 million. Now, as we put in grants for CDBG, for road construction, as we know more about that and what we're going to do with the bonding projects, that $10.3 million could increase by another $1 million to $2 million just in capital projects, but the capital money it goes out for projects. It goes out for projects and we get reimbursed for it, such as road construction. It doesn't fund any, for the most part, doesn't fund for services. So that's the revenue side in a nutshell. I'm watching my time here. The next section is the expenditures by department. We'll just skip down to subtotal administration. That includes mayor and council, town admin, clerk and finance. I included mayor and council in this one just because, you're more of an overhead item. It's not a bad sounding thing. It's just the overhead, general and administrative item. And the total administration share of the budget is 16%, which is very good. That means we're very lean. The rest of it is put into services. You can see that the public safety is 69% of the budget, and public works is the other 15%. One of the things that also built into these budgets are a 2% COLA and a 1% merit. Additional staffing is over on the public safety side, which is why I see the increase. And additional staffing comes from the COPS grant funding. And there's also capital expenditures in there for $220,000 for 3 police vehicles. And Public Works had an increase in their budget because we budgeted a $150,000 increase for capital expenditure for the purchase of a new single axle dump truck. But that's funded through highway user revenues, but it's reported over on public safety budget. But right now, because of everything is fully loaded into the budget, we're looking at a $417,000 deficit, and we don't want a deficit next year, so we're going to start talking about this. If anything, like to put money back into the pot that we, prior to to offset the losses that we had last year. So this is everything fully cooked into the budget, and we'll talk more about it starting on the 17th. If anybody has any questions.
Mr. Vita, do you want to expand a little bit on why we had a loss, so the resident can have an understanding?
Yeah, because we have ongoing costs, with staffing, because we've expanded our staffing, especially with public safety and also with public works, to provide more services. And prior to last fiscal year, we had the ARPA funding, which carried us through for a good solid 3 years. And we expanded, and we also relied heavily on the automated enforcement programs, which as you see from the audit, to fund our services, and those revenues didn't come in last year. But a lot of those support structures are still in place, even though we walked back some expenses. There's still a big part of support in there. And included in there is the staffing increases, the COLA and merit, and the capital expenditures. Just the capital expenditures make up three quarters of that deficit right there. So if you take the capital expenditures out, yes, we could almost balance the budget, but we are then just deferring what we need, so it's, and that can be done, that can be deferred, but, there's also other options with revenues if need be. We can balance it both ways. We can balance it through revenues, through expenditure cuts, or a balance of both. And that's some of the things that we're going to walk through, and we'll present it all out to you. And it is a lot of information, so it's, but we do our best to try to put all the options on the table, plus, pros and cons of everything, so.
Thank you, Mr. Vita. I appreciate the update. Is there any comment, questions from the town? Okay, we will move on to our next item, new business ordinance 16, 2026. Right back over to you, Michelle and Mr. Vito.
Hi. Hi, Mayor, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, Council. This is ordinance 16-2026, an ordinance to amend the FY26 budget in regards to consulting and networking services. We're asking for approval of this item so that the town can, one, transfer funding from automated enforcement to the two items of, I'm trying to get some, because I'm going to have to read it for the record. Two items of the, am I in the right one? Yes. Building repairs for network infrastructure, and $20,000 to the police department professional development. The professional development program is, the police promotional program is a contract with ICP, which will be adopted in a later item if approved. And then the second one is the network infrastructure for the police annex. We are asking that you approve those both this evening. This again is if you would like me to read it into the record, I can, but I can answer any questions you may have as well.
Thank you. Any questions from the council?
Just real quick, I think we can just let the residents know where the funding is being pulled from.
Yes, I mentioned automated traffic enforcement.
All right, thank you.
So, but I can read that into the record if you'd like right now, if there's no.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so this is an ordinance number 06-2026 for fiscal year 26 budget, an amendment for the police department purchases related to network infrastructure and consulting services for the police promotional process in the amount not to exceed $30,000. An emergency ordinance to amend the operating budget for fiscal year starting July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, whereas the town administrator of the town of Bladensburg recommends that the mayor and council amend the FY 2026 budget to reallocate funds for this fiscal year, and whereas the town council of the Bladensburg is determined that it's in their best interest to pass this budget ordinance on March 9th, 2026 in the town council meeting, therefore be it ordained a transfer from the Automated Enforcement Fund of $30,000 for funds for use for network infrastructure and consulting services. And number 2, building repairs and improvements expenses increased by $10,000 for the expense associated with that wiring for the police department annex. Number 3, a professional development expenses increased by $20,000 for consulting expenses associated with the police department promotional process. The overall budget impact is $30,000, and be it further ordained that upon passage, this ordinance shall be authenticated by with the signature of the mayor and the town clerk, and it'll be for inspection for 10 days.
Thank you, Council. Is there a motion to adopt Ordinance 16, 2026, budget amendment for consulting and networking infrastructure for $30K?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember McBride. Do we have any comments or concerns? All right, all in favor, give me your Davis hand.
Aye.
Is there any nays? Is there any nays? Oh, ayes have it, thank you. Ordinance 16, 2026 has been adopted. We'll move to Ordinance 17, 2025, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment for purchase related to trash and recycling. Right over to you again, Michelle and Mr. Tonelli.
Thank you very much, Mayor Pro Tem. This ordinance is an ordinance 17-2026 for the fiscal year 2026 budget. It'll allow the town administrator or allow the town to transfer funding from highway user funds, the amount of $30,000 for the use for expenses related to heavy-duty outdoor trash and recyclable containers. It will also change expenses to $30,000 in building repairs and improvements. And this has a total overall $30,000 impact on the budget. The item that we shown are the types of big bellies that we would receive. We have contacted them. We're actually piggybacking off of state pricing, so that's why we will not go out for a competitive bid. The town of Edmiston has entered into a contract already, and they are using the same pricing model. Again, the reason why we would like the big bellies is because they're durable. They're tamper resistant, and we're not going to get the one with the fullness indicator because they're a little cheaper, but they allow us to put advertising on the sides. So we'll be able to advertise our programming on the sides of these. We are paying for that option for these. And I'm here to answer any other questions. Mr. Hall is very excited about getting some additional trash cans. We talked about it this afternoon. He's worked with the big bellies before, and we'll be excited to get the new ones.
Question. There's something. With the advertisement, can it change? It's like, let's say we having a big program like the 250. They can make all the changes, and like when we get the money for the
Yeah.
stop the violence. Okay.
Yeah, so, Councilwoman, thank you. That's a really good question. Ray has actually designed, from the Green Team last year, he designed a new series of Keep the Town Beautiful ones, but he's also, he's now figured out like the exact size to get them printed for other things. So that's our intent, is to use them more for advertising. But we did it at first with just trying to keep Bladensburg beautiful. So we have those, so he can adopt that to any kind of event or anything that you want to put on there.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you for that question, Councilmember Blunt. Michelle, do you want to tell us how many recycling receptacles we'll be getting?
So we're getting zero recycling, but all trash. So trash, I did leave it open because we were going to get a pair of recycling, and so I wanted to keep the item open just in case we did. But it looks like we'll probably get between 7 and 10. The reason why is that I need to look, when Pernell and I in the morning are going to look at what features he really wants or that we must have. The more stripped down version, we can get about 10. A little one that has some of the compaction, you get 7 or 8. So he's going to determine which one works best for him and meet his needs the best. So that's what we went out and got the quotes for him, working with Edmiston on this, and then Mr. Hall will make the final decision on the number. But anywhere between, I believe, 7 and 10 that we will have.
Thank you.
Would you like me to read the ordinance?
Yes, go ahead.
Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Oh, wait, I guess you have to, all right, so I'm going to
Go
read
ahead.
the ordinance. Yep, I got it. So this is an ordinance 017-2026 for the fiscal year 2026, an amendment for the purchases related to trash and recycling receptacles in the amount not to exceed $30,000. This is an emergency ordinance to amend the operating budget for the town from the fiscal year 2026, July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026, whereas the town administrator of the town of Bladensburg has made a recommendation to the town council to amend the FY26 budget to allocate funds as a part of the fiscal year. And whereas the town council of the town of Bladensburg has determined that it's in its best interest to pass this budget amendment ordinance on March 9th, 2026 at the town council meeting, now therefore it be resolved the following. One, a transfer from highway user funds for $30,000 for the expenses related to the heavy-duty trash and recycling receptacles. And number two, building repairs and improvement expenses increased by $30,000 for the expenses related to the heavy-duty trash and receptacle purchases, an overall budget impact of $30,000. And now therefore it be resolved, upon the passage of this ordinance, it shall have the signature of the mayor and be recorded in a book kept in the town for town purposes and posted for 10 days. Attest. Michelle Bailey Hedgepeth, Takesha D. James.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there a motion to approve ordinance 17, 2026?
Approve.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any questions? Okay, since there's no questions, all in favor, let me hear by the saying of ayes.
Aye.
The ayes have it, is it? Thank you. Next on the agenda is the action item, approval and adoption of the strategic plan closeout report. Michelle?
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. So this next item is the strategic planning closeout report. This report closes out the 2026 to 2021 strategic plan with the key priorities of economic development, public safety, infrastructure, and collaboration and partnerships, serving as a framework. So basically, what the town has done over the last few years is being reflected in this closeout report. It has all of the things that you've engaged in, and we can show that on the screen. But in brief, the town has accomplished many of its goals as part of the next steps of the process, where we got your council input at the March 2nd, 2026 work session. We are asking for the approval of this report today, March 9th, at the meeting. We will ask to approve a budget for a new strategic plan as part of the FY 2027 budget. We will move. No worries. We will move forward on a process for the implementation and action of the next strategic plan. And what we're asking for tonight is council's approval and the request to proceed with these steps, ensuring that Bladensburg continues to build on its past successes and have an effectively planned for its future. I'm here for any questions you may have. And Mr. Tonelli is diligently scrolling through the report for the public.
Thank you, Michelle. Any question from the council?
I would just like to thank Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth. We'd like to thank Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth and all the work that's really, that you really put into this strategic plan closeout report. And trust and believe, I will keep it near and dear, look at it, read it, and we'll use it. It's not going to go by the wayside. And just thank you so very much, because this right here, you know, it's directional, and it gives us a path forward. So once
you.
again, thank you and your team.
Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you to my team on this one, too. Thank you.
Any other question from the council? Any comments? No? Okay. Thank you again, Michelle, for the hard work that, I'm sorry. Is there a motion to adopt action item approval for the strategic plan?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any question, concern, or comments before we move forward? No? All right, since there's no question, Since there's no question, all in favor, let me know who says aye. Aye. Is there any nays? The ayes have it. Action item has been approved. All right, we will move on to action item approval of coalition agreement with Red Speed Maryland.
So I'm going to introduce it and then let Acting Chief Fishcorn tell you a little bit more about this one. This is a contract with Red Speed for a free, for the ability to have an agreement to co-locate license tag readers on some of our poles, and this is a free agreement with them because we already do business with them for our red light cameras. So this will help to enhance that service. But I'll let Acting Chief Fishcorn answer more of these issues. Acting Chief?
Good evening. This is, like she said, there's no cost to the town on this. It's a pole that we're already using for our red light camera. It's at Annapolis and 57th. And we'd like to put the LPR, which is license plate reader, on that pole. It's an advantageous location. We use the license plate reader information for public safety purposes. If we have a crime, for investigative purposes, we can get information on cars that pass the area, and it helps us. We've used the information from the LPRs to close out numerous crimes. It's very helpful, and because of the location, and it's free for us to put it on that pole, that's why we're asking to do this.
Thank you, Acting Chief. Any questions? Go ahead, Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Dixon. So, Acting Chief Fishcorn, so some residents may say, hey, I don't want the police read my license plate. How intrusive is that, for every time somebody, drive past that? It captures every car, or it?
Yes, what it does is say if there's a stolen car that goes by, it'll send the alert to the officers to their MDTs, their mobile data terminals in their cars, so that they know there's a stolen car in the area. If we have a robbery or other incident in the area and the car passes there, we will know what cars pass through there. So say if it's late at night and there may be only a few cars that pass through there, it gives us investigative leads. It's not something that we're tracking cars. We just recently had an audit on the LPR data information. We have an extensive general order and policy on that, on keeping for privacy reasons. Officers have been trained on the use of the LPRs. We can't just use it to search, if some person's going to a certain doctor or a certain store. We're using it for law enforcement purposes, and we're using it for investigative purposes whenever we have crime. So there's very, very strict rules and regulations on how we use that information, because we want to make sure that we keep the information private, and we don't share our information from Bladensburg with any other agency, unless there's a specific request and a need for law enforcement purposes, and they have to send us something in writing telling us what they need the information for.
What other municipalities use it? Do you know?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure in this area what other ones use it, but a lot of agencies use this. They have them. When you see the cameras, it's the same as like the cameras that are on the cars when you pass by them. It'll tell you if someone's wanted, if their license is suspended, if their registration is suspended. So tag information is public information. Police officers don't need a reason to run someone's tag.
Because when they drive behind you, anyway, not to cut you off, but they're reading your tag, they're reading your tag
So
anyway,
when you
right?
drive by one of the cars and you see the cameras on it for the police, it's reading your tag and telling us if you're suspended, if you're
Exactly.
wanted, a multitude of information, if you're on a registry for child sex offenses, stuff like that. So it helps us out a lot when we're doing investigations, especially felony crimes that we can go back to. We use those cameras, and we also use the other cameras that we have throughout the town for video, and we've closed out a lot of cases like that. But it's very strictly, it's confidential information, we don't share it, and we have audits on it to make sure that when we ran something, and if we shared it, that it's in line with our policy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Acting Chief Fishcorn. My concern was about privacy, but then you just explained it. And I think this will be great for a town, and I think this will be actually great globally. This is how we will catch criminals. I and hold them accountable for their crimes. So thank you. Michelle, do you want to read? That's it?
There is nothing to read, it's just a vote for the approval of the authorizing. So the council action on this one is to authorize the mayor and the town administrator to enter into an agreement.
Yeah, it's agreement.
Yeah,
Just
so
sorry.
that's your motion, is to enter into
Yeah.
agreement with Red Speed for this agreement.
Thank you, yes, it's an agreement. Council, is there a motion to go into agreement?
I so move.
Is there a second?
A second.
First, agreed by Councilmember Blunt, second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any comments? Okay, since there's no comment, all in favor, let me by saying of ayes.
Aye.
Is there any nays? Ayes have it, thank you. We will now move into action item, approval of a contract for repairs to Boswick House. Michelle?
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This is an item in regards to a recommendation by our architect, Will Kaywood, who I've had a lot of pleasure working with. We opened a bid for repairs. This, if the council remembers, actually, we did approve something similar to this about a year and a half ago. But when we looked at the contract with the particular vendor, we decided that we wanted to wait a little bit and take care of the issue with the wash house first. And once we did that, we actually got a better quote from Colossal for the wash house. And then we wanted to see how they did on the project with the wash house. And if you've been out to the wash house, it looks great. It's that little bitty house behind there, but they did the painting, the repointing, and everything of the brick. And that has been a very successful project that they did for under $50,000 with Maryland Park and Planning. So what Will did is he re-put out a new bid, and we received a bid from Colossal, and we also received a bid from WMG, which is attached. Colossal is the lowest responsible bidder, and EEG, who previously bid, and their bid for the same work was about $250,000. Colossal has bid it for $90,000. Because it's a lot of painting, repointing, and Councilwoman Brown, this is the issue where we're gonna repair the back chimney. So this is the chimney issue.
Okay.
So the scope of work includes the front facade, painting and scraping some of the other windows, painting the dormers, eaves, cornices, fascia, and dental trim, the masonry replacement, and the kitchen chimney are all part of the scope for $99,000. The previous scope that you approved was a lot more, and so it was good that we sort of waited on this. And Vito's probably glad that I waited, because I've spent a lot of money on Boswick, but this in some ways helps us to spend out the rest of the bond bill money. So we're in really good shape if we take care of this, and this allows us to do a lot of the activation work and having a fresh coat of paint on the very front of the house. Sam's idea, because he was here earlier, was to paint the front so that we have that pop in the front and weight on the back. So we're doing the front and west facade, which I agree with him on, especially with the new buttress that's been completed. That looks amazing. If you haven't been out there, the buttress is finally complete, and it does look 100% better than those rotting rocks and the poles. So we are asking for your approval tonight to approve a contract with Colossal Construction for $99,000. We may have some additional costs related to Davis-Bacon wage reporting, but we estimate that it should fall into this $99,000 wage, and it lets us go back. Council, staff will come back to you if there are any additional fees associated with this.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, okay.
Mrs.
Councilman
Bailey,
Brown.
thank you, dear. And the funding is coming from?
This is bond bill funding, so this is all bond bill related, sorry. That's like at the bottom, yeah, this is all bond bill, sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there a motion to approve $99,000 to go in a contract with Colossal?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember McBride. Is there a
Second.
second? Second by Councilmember Brown. Is there any concern about this contract? Okay, since there's none, all in favor, let me say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, and contract has been approved. On to Michelle. Next, we will move on, action item, approval of an agreement with the MNCPPC for Boswick House. Over to Michelle.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Mayor Pro Tem and Council, this is a agreement that I just received in the last few weeks in regards to $50,000, sorry, this is $25,000.
This is,
$25,000
25, yeah.
for a study of the activation that was funded by the Historic Preservation Commission for Boswick House. Again, thanks to Sam Parker and to John Sauer for their work on this one, because this money helps us to move further on the activation process, and it gives us more of those drawings that you saw from Encore that the Maryland Park and Planning Historic Preservation Commission is going to pay for. So what we're asking today is to authorize me to sign off on the agreement so that it can move forward and that we can get the $25,000 back once we spend it. And they're very easy grantors to work with.
Thank you. Council, is there a motion to approve this agreement?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any concern, questions? Since there's none, all in favor, let me say aye.
Aye.
Is there any nays? The ayes have it. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. We know that the Boswick House is one of the most historical piece of property here in the town of Bladensburg, and we thank you so much for the hard work that you have done on the Boswick House. I can't wait to see the ending process, even though you're leaving us.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem.
You're welcome. And next on the agenda, action item, approval of a contract with IACP for the police promotional process and authorization for the town administrator to execute a contract not to exceed $38,300. Over to Michelle.
Mayor Pro Tem, Council, this is an agreement with IACP. I'm going to let Acting Chief Fishkorn give you a little bit more information about the promotional process. I think it's very important for transparency, and I appreciate his work that he's done so far on modernizing the general order on this and bringing these quotes to us. Thank you.
Good evening. Yes, I would like to have an outside independent organization like the International Association for Chiefs of Police, IACP, come in and do our promotional process. My plan is to have a 2-year list from the process in which we can promote. We currently have several supervisory positions that are in acting positions and have been for some time. Having an outside independent organization promotes fairness and impartiality in the system. Credibility with the sworn officers. It's legally defensible. With a small organization like ours, it's nice to have an outside organization who does this. And that's what they do for around the country. IACP is a large organization. It also goes towards transparency in the evaluation standards, and we would be doing a process for corporal, for sergeant, and for lieutenant in the police department. And having a list available for 2 years is very helpful. We currently do not have an eligibility list.
Council, any question on this contract? Go ahead, Councilmember
Question,
Blunt.
is it normal, it may not be, I'm just asking, when the officers are getting a promotion like that, will the council know after you make the suggestions, do we get to know that, or it just happens within the department?
Normally what happens, we have a general order that I just rewrote on promotion, so there's criteria that you have to meet in order to even participate in the promotional process. Like, we don't want someone to skip from a first line item officer up to a supervisor. They got to have some experience, and so in order to even take the test, they have to meet certain qualifications. Once the process is all done by ACP, they'll be ranked. There's a ranking, and we use a rule depending on how many people are in highly qualified or well-qualified or qualified. That's where we'll pull from. And so we certainly would let you know, and we would announce it throughout the department who we're going to choose for that position. And it's based on a lot of factors, disciplinary history, education, how they scored on the exam, how their work is, all those things. So all that goes into whenever we make a promotion, what we're looking at.
So it's a panel when you make that decision, or one person make that decision, or how did that work?
So IACP would put on the process, and normally a process involves a written exam, some type of assessment center where they're given certain types of tasks to present to the board, and they're the ones that score them. And so it's not just based on score that I would pick them, it's based on all those other factors.
Got you. Thank you. Thank you.
I think that is great, Acting Fishcorn. And Council, do you have any questions? Okay. Is there, Councilmember Blunt, Matt Bright? You have any questions?
No.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this contract with IACPA?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any concern?
For the record, can we state the amount of $38,300 in
Sure.
the motion?
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Just to be clear, this is a approval of contract with IACP for the police promotional process and authorization for the town administrator to execute a contract not to exceed $38,300. Thank you.
Yep.
Since there is no more question, is all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Is there any nays? Ayes have it. Next, we will move on to action item, memorandum of understanding with the Prince George's Gateway Development Authority, PGGDA, Boswick House activation and improvements. Over to Michelle.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This is, staff is requesting the council and the mayor to approve and for the town administrator to execute a memorandum of understanding with the Prince George's Gateway Authority. Just to give you some background, this is a regional collaborative with Bladensburg, Colmar Manor, Cottage City, Brentwood, North Brentwood, and Mount Rainier. This was founded by State Senator Malcolm Augustine as a way to increase investment in this corridor. So part of this organization, when it was set up, was that there's a certain pot of money that was given to the agency for projects. And what we're asking for from this town of Bladensburg is that for the Boswick activation site to be our project. Initially, they did a rendering, and what we've done, we've provided them with our most recent renderings from our architect of that outdoor space and making it something, so it'll help to fund the initial cleanup of the space from the standpoint of new paint, some fixtures or things that are historically appropriate to activate the outdoor. So it's kind of this is a build on a build on a build. That's the reason why there's so many items this month, is that this one came up at the same time as we're doing the item with MMPCC, along with the fundraising that we've been working on. They're actually all coming together, and not in some weird way, they all came up in the month of March. So this is for $75,000 we expect. And this will allow us to do that kind of cleanup. And just on another note, I'd like to thank Mr. Hall's team, because on last Monday, we went out to Boswick on probably one of the coldest days that has been in the last couple of weeks, and we cleaned out the barn areas that we had some stuff in, and I think I mentioned it in my thing. And then we've also been working with AWS, who is our partner there, on cleaning up the outside of that site as well, so that we can be ready this spring to start hosting events. And but Mr. Hall and his team, I mean, it was kind of gross in there. They were like, Michelle, did you want a mask? And at first I was like, no, I don't need a mask. And then I went in there, I was like, Ron, can you get me a mask? So those guys are great, and they were amazing with helping. And they were sort of surprised that when I was like, okay, let me get in there with you and start cleaning it up on Monday. And we really got it cleaned up and got our spot cleaned up. And now this is all in preparation for this kind of access to the project. So it's not just one little thing. It's a lot of people touching a lot of stuff and touching like whatever that poo that's in there because it was gross. It was very gross. But it was really, but to get this place to get it to where it needs to be. So I just wanted to kind of note that because this is not just like one more little thing. It's really, it's a plan. So what we're asking for council tonight is, one, authorize the mayor and town administrator to initiate and finalize this MOU with the PDGGA, and then approve the town's participation on that Boswick House activation improvements and projects under the PGGDA grant initiatives. So if you'd like to use that, Council, Mayor Pro Tem, as your motion, you can just say the two items I just said. Those are the two that really you would need to do, which is the authorize the mayor and town administrator to finalize and execute, and the second is approve participation in the improvements of PGGDA.
Thank you. I would like to use those two. Thank you. Make it easy. Is there a motion?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
That's right.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Any question, concerns? Since there is none, all in favors, let it be known by the saying of ayes.
Aye.
Is there any nays? The ayes have it. And just keep in mind that an MOU is not a contract for construction or funding. This is an agreement to outline cooperation so we can work together and with the PGE. Right.
It did, it's going on and off. It's like it stayed off again.
It's off.
There you go. Now it's on.
Thank you. Do I need to repeat that? No.
I think you made a good point that the MOU is not a contract for the but it's an agreement to work through those pieces with the PGGDA.
Yeah.
And it doesn't guarantee the construction. I'm just hoping that it will guarantee that construction portion. So that's the long-term hope of this agreement, is to work through the money that could be allocated to the town of Bladensburg.
Thank you. And can you repeat, it was 75,000?
Well, that's why I can't say 75,000 yet, but that's what we hope that we will get.
Okay.
We will hope, but that's not, that's the reason why the agreement, that's why the agreement is still in draft form, and it doesn't say the amount yet. We will notify council of the final amount that's determined.
Thank you. All right, we will move to Resolution 1226, a resolution for the town of Bladensburg declaring April as normal April. Over to you, Michelle.
I'm going to throw this. This is Resolution 2012-2026, a resolution in regards to declaring April no more April. I'm going to throw this over to Mr. Reinhardt. Mr. Reinhardt.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor and Council. This is a movement encouraging residents to refrain from mowing their lawns. The only thing we request is that you do register with Town Hall, and we'll actually provide you with a sign to put in your front yard. And this initiative aims to support bees and other pollinators by letting the dandelions and other early bloomers, which can provide nectar and pollen. So if any of the residents do have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to Town Hall, reach out to code enforcement, and we could get you registered and get a sign provided for your front yard.
Thank you, Sean. Any question from the council?
Sorry. Do that mean the Emerson House too?
As long as the Emerson House registers with the town of Bladensburg, I do not see an issue why.
Okay, we can save money on our contract, that's all.
Again, I don't
Okay.
foresee an issue.
Okay.
Just make sure you do register so the other code officers and actually other community members do see why the lawn is a little bit longer
Okay,
in the month of April.
thank you.
And you can contact Ray for your sign, so just call Town Hall and we'll get you a sign.
Thank you. Councilmember McBride?
I have a question to piggyback off Councilmember Blunt. Would that include any of the apartment complexes?
Yes, the question was, would it include any of the apartment complexes? If the apartment complexes would like to reach out to town, they would definitely be considered. I know the program is usually for smaller properties, which are the residential properties. But again, I don't foresee a reason why some of the apartment communities wouldn't have an issue in some of their areas for the pollinators, especially for the bees. You're welcome.
Okay. Thank you.
Over to you, Michelle.
All right, thank you. So this is a resolution for the town of Bladensburg declaring April No-Mow April. Whereas the town recognizes the vital role pollinators play in our local ecosystem, whereas excessive mowing of grass and vegetation can disrupt pollinators, whereas promoting pollinator-friendly practices aligns with the town's commitment to environmental sustainability, and whereas the residents of Bladensburg expressed a desire to support pollinators and adopt environmentally friendly lawn care and laws, we therefore resolve that the month of April shall be called No More April. During the month of No More April, residents are encouraged to refrain from mowing their lawns. Penalties for exceeding the height of grass width in residential areas during the month of April shall be temporarily suspended for those who notify the town of their intent to participate, and that the town of Bladensburg shall actively promote No More April, and that residents are also encouraged to utilize resources and information in the town to adopt pollinator-friendly lawn care. This resolution will take effect immediately upon passage. It'll be resolved again this March 9th, 2026.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there a motion to adopt resolution for the town of Bladensburg to declare April as No More April?
I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any comments or questions?
Just entering for the record, Resolution 12, 2026.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Resolution 12, 2026, for the town of Bladensburg to declare April as No More April. Thank you. Okay, all in favors?
Aye.
Is
Aye.
there any nays? The ayes have it. Resolution 1226 has been adopted. Next, we'll move to Resolution 1326, a joint resolution of intent for the annexation of properties along Edmondson Road with the town of Edmondson. Over to you, Michelle.
Staff is recommending the approval of Resolution 13-2026, a joint resolution for intent to annexation. What this does is it develops this annexation agreement between ourselves informally in the town of Edmonston. The town of Edmonston is adopting the same resolution at their meeting later on this week. It formalizes our agreement. It also develops a long-term vision for the collaborative approach at annexing along Edmonston Road, excuse me. What we would do is we're going to go towards the east, and they're going to go towards the west. Is that correct? Am I wrong? Yeah, we're the east, they're going to the west. We are going to the east, they're annexing to the west. And we will annex the roadway bed as well, as part of this agreement. And we'll work together on the process of, informing residents about why annexing in a municipality is important. And this conforms with earlier discussions that we've had with the council in regards to that strategy and to the strategy along Edmonston Road. And if there's any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there any questions? Okay. Is there a motion to,
Do we need to read this abbreviated?
I will read it if you want. I was going to read it abbreviated. Yeah, I was going to read the abbreviated one.
It's really long. I mean, I've read it.
Yeah, I'm only going to actually read the key actions that you're going to take in the last page and I'm not going to read the whereases. Does that make sense, Councilwoman? So that we'll do like one whereas and then read the action items, because I think that's the important part, is the action on the second page. Okay.
okay. Council, is there a motion to adopt Resolution 13, 2026, a joint resolution of intent for the annexation of properties along Edmondson Road with the town of Edmondson?
I so moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any questions? Since there's none. Second by Councilmember Brown. Brown. Okay, since there's no questions or concern, all in favor, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Wait, did you want me to read it?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'll read
sorry,
it first,
go
and
ahead.
then you've done everything, so you can vote.
Yeah.
So this is a joint resolution of the mayor and council of the towns of Bladensburg and the towns of Edmiston in regards to a coordinated annexation strategy for Edmiston Road corridor and adopting a process of intergovernmental cooperation. I'm going to skip towards the therefore be it resolved, because most of it I've already explained. So whereas this is a coordinated effort of annexation that'll strengthen the municipal services and such. Now therefore be it resolved that by the mayor and council that section A, that we adopt a memorandum of understanding. The municipalities will put that together, will work jointly with one of the town attorneys, that we have set geographical understanding. The municipalities agree that Bladensburg agrees on to pursue eligible land located to the east side and Edmiston located to the west side, and that there would be a coordinated strategy that the municipalities would develop in good faith, a coordinated annexation strategy consistent with Maryland law, identify affected properties and property owners, conduct outreach to those, and then establish a schedule regarding roadway maintenance and infrastructure responsibilities, and then also coordinate economic development planning on that corridor. In the past, just an FYI, there's been pieces to the sector plan that have talked about that corridor, and again, that we will reinforce that. And that we will also ensure that local government subtitle 4 is followed, because we want to make sure that we are complying with state law. The implementation timeline of this is through spring of 2026 through 2027. There's a neutrality clause that the resolution is just establishing the agreement, and then it's a non-binding agreement, and then there's an exhibit which was attached, which is the MML annexation handbook. So we're asking for that to be adopted this 9th day of March, 2026.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Is there any nays? The ayes have it. Resolution 13, 2026, a joint resolution of intent for the annexation of properties along Edmondson Road, the town of Edmondson, has been approved. Next, we'll move to Resolution 14, 2026, support of joint application with Ammon Memorial Trust for PMAC. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is one of the last one of these resolutions. Actually, there's one more behind it. Oh, no, there's two more behind it, but this one's not as bad. So this is an application of support for the for the Amen Trust to go after a PMAC study of the Bostwick House, because they do economic, like they did our economic development study in 2022 of the town of Bladensburg. We'd like one specifically on Bostwick and the Bostwick development. And because tonight with the sector plan, they talked about it being historical property, this resolution would show support of the town for this study, and it would allow Amen Trust and ourselves to get that done for the Bostwick House like we have for other pieces. Even looking at the sector plan kind of boxes off the Bostwick House into like a historic rural agricultural district. It really doesn't still have even though we've been talking about the purpose, it doesn't have a specific planning unit for it, because right now it's still in rural. So what we'd like them to do is take a look at the new zoning designation, look at the work that we've done on the project so far, and develop an economic and fundraising strategy for it. I'm getting tired. So for it, the Amen Trust has already submitted a letter of support for the application, and this will complement their support.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there any questions?
Yeah, just real quick. Any reason why there has to be a joint application with the Amen Choice?
Yeah, because it's hard for, they usually do these for the municipalities, more than they do it for nonprofits. Sometimes it's stronger, it's much stronger when the two of us apply together, because they're looking for the fact that the municipality has support of it. So that's the reason why I would suggest that the town has some kind of role in it, because we own the property. We're the property owner, so we
Right.
control the property. So us doing a joint is good. I'd like to start to offload some of these things to Amen, with them working on some of these projects and have their support and working on them more fully, especially with the engagement that we have from the Amen on some of, Amen Trust on these items. They're sort of working very well on, developing these concepts.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's why I'd like to have that joint work with them on it and have them to kind of spin it into their own stuff, and also as part of their fundraising. That's what they came today to kind of talk about, which was on the other agenda, is about their fundraising report. But this will help them for that, and I'd like them to start working on their fundraising, and that's a portion of what this is going towards.
So what is the, I guess, what is the, I don't know, budget impact, implications with the government going into agreement, joint application with a nonprofit?
We have there's no budget applications for us because the PMAC studies are taken on fully by Park and Planning. So we don't get a grant
Okay,
for it.
let me put it this way. Is it
Okay.
common for governments to do joint applications with nonprofits?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, we've done it, we would do it with, let's say, the Port Town CDC. That's a form of a nonprofit. We do it all the time with,
Yeah,
we
but
do it
that's-
with,
that's
well, we
our
also, but we
nonprofit,
do it
though.
also we do it with UMD, and we do it with, but I'm working with a couple nonprofits on stuff. I'm thinking about the Walkable Watersheds was the UMD study, which is a university. Vito, what's the other one? We're doing one with another nonprofit right now.
Is it a joint application, or is it that we have funding and that we're
No, we've done it.
paying them to do something? That's what I'm trying to
The
understand.
learning, yeah. Joe's Movement, I mean, we do them all the time with people like Joe's Movement. We're FSC, yeah, we're doing them, I mean, we do them a lot. The applicant, I mean, to be honest with you, the applicant is us. I want Amen to have a bigger role because I think that some of these deliverables, they need to be helping us to work on.
Yeah.
And having their input on. If you would prefer it, Councilwoman, we can change it to authorization for the town to ask for another PMAC study and not have Amen on it. They wrote us a letter of support because they would really like to partner on this. But it's your choice.
It's
That's why
just-
it's on here.
Yeah, I'm just curious, and, and just probably for my benefit, I'll just look more into municipalities and nonprofits partnering in applications. I know that we can apply.
We do it
I
with
don't
Low
have a-
Impact. Low Impact
Yeah,
Design.
yeah.
Low Impact Design is a nonprofit that we've also done joint applications, and they do applications all the time for municipalities. Low Impact Design, you remember the design firm? They're a nonprofit that we've worked with.
Yeah.
And they're a joint applicant sometimes because they will provide at cost and they provide
Okay.
expertise.
All right, that was my only question.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown, for that
Thank you.
question. Councilmember Blunt? Councilmember McBride? Michelle, is this a grant?
No, it's actually it's a service that they offer to municipalities. So that's the reason why we have to apply for
Okay.
it, because it's the planning for municipal communities and in neighborhoods. So it's a neighborhood and municipality program. We get no funding for it. It's more the fact that Maryland Park and Planning hires the experts and does the plan for you. So that's what that economic development plan that we did in 22 is that they hired experts to do it, and they work on community projects. So that's why it's under municipalities and communities. So on their own, Amen could not be eligible for this. We have to be their joint sponsor
Okay,
partner.
that was my initial question. Why is it
Yes.
joint with?
Yes,
Okay.
because they
Well, that
can't
makes
apply for
sense
it.
now.
They can't apply for it by themselves,
Okay.
but I would like for them to be a key member in it and for them to have a role in it. So we have to apply and they would be our joint member because I think they have a perspective that we need in regards to that portion. Does that
And
make
how
more
will they
sense?
benefit from the joint, he says? How will they benefit from the joint
Well, they would be,
application? How would?
I mean,
Amen-
they would help us through it. I mean, I guess the thing about it is that they would help us because we don't have a lot of staff. It's usually just the town administrator and and Jared right now that are working on it, and we need that support for people to come to the meetings, to be part of the voices that are kind of pushing this. We don't have to apply for it. I just think it's a good way to fund this issue that we have, which is this last study that we need to do. And I'm tired of getting grant money from other entities for it, whereas this is a planning grant that helps to plan for communities. We have like 4 grants out there right now for Amen, and this is an elegant way to do it and to actually get planning resources from the Maryland Park and Planning that will take care of it. We haven't had anything from them for the last 5 years in that PMAC, because you guys requested in 2021, now it's 2026, so you're kind of up for a new plan. So
Okay.
if you want it, if you don't want it, it's your
Thank you.
choice.
As long as there's no financial obligation from the town,
There isn't.
it's good. That's it.
It's free help.
Council, is there a motion to adopt Resolution 14-2026, support of joint application with Ammon Memorial Trust for the PMAC?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any more comments?
Yes.
Go ahead, Councilmember
Mrs.
Brown.
Billy Hedgepeth, do you need to read the abbreviated resolution?
Yes, I'll read it. I'll read the whereases into the clause. That's what I was pushing for. If I'm getting that on my screen, so I can do that, no problem. You ready?
Go ahead.
Would you prefer for me to read less or more?
Yes, you can
Better?
go ahead and read it before we do the votes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure. This is a resolution for the town of Bladensburg supporting a joint application for the Amen Trust for the Planning Management Assistance Program, PMAC, with Maryland National Park and Planning. Whereas the Boswick House is an asset to the Bladensburg, whereas the Amen Trust and Bladensburg have partnered in renovations and revitalization, whereas the Planning Management and Assistance Group is administrated by National Capital Park and Planning and provides technical assistance and professional planning services. And whereas the town and the Amen Trust desire to submit a joint application for a program to study and evaluate the activation of Boswick House, the stables, and surrounding outdoor areas. Therefore, be it resolved, the mayor and council would support the submission of a joint application with the Amen Trust for Maryland Capital Park and Planning. And be it further resolved that the council and the Amen Trust would continue to work for planning, fundraising, and implementation efforts.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there a motion to move?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
I second.
Is there any questions or comments? Since there's none, I'll call for all in favors. Let it be known by saying as aye.
Aye.
Is there any nays? The ayes have it. Resolution 1426, support of joint application with Ammon Memorial Trust for PMAC has been adopted. We will move on to Resolution 15-2026, appointing members to the Board of Directors of the BCCE, Port Towns Community Development Corporation. Over to you, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. This should be pretty straightforward. This is an appointment for Neil Ryan that was recommended by Ernest Mayor Block, and he actually attended our meeting in February, and this formalizes his appointment to the board with Councilwoman Blunt. And so I will allow Councilwoman Blunt to just now notice if she has any questions or anything to add to this item. So I'm asking for the formal appointment of Mr. Ryan to the board because we did a resolution to appoint Councilwoman Blunt, and we did not have Mr. Ryan's name. So this is the exact same resolution that we did for Councilwoman Blunt when we appointed her, and so we're asking for that same approval for Mr. Ryan. So that's all this is. Simple. And I can just do a quick read to say this is authorizing us to do that appointment for Mr. Ryan. So if you'd like me to read it, I can just read it now.
Yes.
Resolution 15-2026, a resolution of the mayor and council for the town of Bladensburg appointing members to the board of directors for the BCC Port Towns Community Development Corporation. This will, each town shall appoint, whereas each town shall appoint one member of the council and one member of the community, a business representative of the CDC. The town of Bladensburg is now appointing Neil Ryan to the Port Towns BCCE Port Towns Community Development Corporation. Sorry, it's really long. Therefore, be resolved that his term shall be appointed for 2 years, commencing on October 1st, 2025, and continuing until September 30th, 2027, until a successor is appointed. Then we're asking for this to be adopted on March 9th, 2026.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there a motion to adopt Resolution 1526, appointing members to the Board of Directors for the BCCE Port Towns Community Development Corporation?
I so move.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any question or comment? Since there's none, we will move all in favors. Let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Is there any nays? Ayes have it. Resolution
2026, you're good.
2026, appointing members to the Board of Directors for the BCCE Port Towns Community Development Corporation has been adopted. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mr. Ryan.
Mr. Ryan. Mr. Ryan.
No, not here. Okay.
We will move to Resolution 16, 2026, a resolution of the Mayor and Council of the Town of Bladensburg in support of HB 1142/SB, establishing the task force to modernize county and municipal revenue resources. Over to you, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. So this is the very last one, I promise. So this is a resolution that supports the task force for modernization of county and municipal revenues. The MML has placed a priority on this task force. What it's going to do is going to look at the way that tax dollars are allocated to municipalities and to counties and to just from the state government. So basically, right now, municipalities receive, I think, less than like 6% of the tax, of the sales tax. Yeah, it's something really very small compared to our actual information. Teresa Coons, as the MNL president, has actually did a presentation on this in December at the State of the Municipality in regards to the MML drive for this and this item. So there are only 6 states, and Maryland is one of them, that does not share their sales tax revenues on a meaningful basis with the town, with the municipalities. I know that we get a little bit of sales tax through the county's share. So that's why I estimate it's about 6%. Local government is very heavily dependent on property tax, and that's the issue when we're trying to look at our budget. We don't have any place else to go. We don't have a taxing authority to add. Only one entity in the state has the ability to add sales tax, and that was Ocean City, and they were allowed to add it to food and beverage to help to build their convention center. So nobody else has it. Everybody else kind of wants it, I guess, and this is what this resolution asks for. And I can read it into the record if you'd like. The mayor's asked for this to be added.
Go ahead, please. Thank you.
No worries, but I just want to give a fair use of it. All right. The resolution from the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg to support HB and SB 1142. The town of Bladensburg, for the town of Bladensburg. Whereas the Bladensburg provides essential services to its residents, including public safety and infrastructure maintenance. Whereas municipal governments are facing unprecedented inflationary pressures, whereas the Maryland municipalities are a primary driver of economic development, whereas Maryland is one of only 6 states that fails to share its tax revenues of sales tax and goods and services with local governments, and whereas local revenue in the state law, in the state of Maryland has not been comprehensively updated in a few decades. Therefore, it be resolved by the council that we would, one, support the legislation, two, communicate the resolution, and then send it to our delegation to District 47 and our delegates representing District 47. And then also, we send a copy of this to the MML board, or MML staffers. And this would be adopted this 9th day of March, 2026.
Thank you, Michelle. Council, is there a motion to adopt Resolution 16, 2026, a resolution of the Mayor and Council of the Town of Bladensburg in support of HB 1142/SB, establishing the task force to modernize county and municipal revenue sources?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Blunt. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Is there any comments? Since there's no comments, we will move. Do you have a comment? Okay, all in favor? Let it be known by the saying of ayes.
Aye.
Is there any nays? The ayes have it. Resolution 16, 2026, a resolution of the mayor and council of the town of Bladensburg in support of HB 1142/SB, establishing the task force to modernize county and municipal revenue sources. Thank you. And now we'll move on to staff reports. All right. We will have the
Treasurer first.
treasurer report.
Yeah, you first. You're always first. You're first.
Over to you, Mr. Tinelli.
Good evening again, Madam Mayor Pro Temp and council members. Attached and also in your binders and online is a financial report through the first 2/3 of this fiscal year for the town. Just to touch on some highlights really quick, my written report is in there. It was just submitted today though, so if you look forward this weekend, probably didn't see it. But we had to finish some things up. The total revenues are right on budget at 2/3 received, and that is without the federal funding from the earmarks, the ARPA funding being utilized yet, or the bond bill. So that's $2.7 million of funding there that hasn't been utilized yet, but it hasn't put a strain on anything because we are further ahead of budget on other categories, which helps. Expenses by department, I have them summarized, but also detailed to follow. I'll just run down those real quick. Mayor and Council is under budget so far through February. The administrative departments are right at budget. And public safety is just over budget with compensation because we had some payouts for accrued leave for employees that left. So we had to go ahead and front load that, the expenses, but it will be balanced out by the end of the fiscal year. And we've also, through all the departments, have had higher health insurance costs than planned. And also pension costs were higher than budgeted. And we touched on the reasons why during the audit. Through actuarial losses, the state has, they just keep slowly increasing the contribution. So right now, we are ahead of budget. Things look well. 2/3 of the way into the fiscal year, but we still have a good 4 months to go. It's really a good 6 months to go because it takes us through August to get in all the final revenue numbers and expenditures. But so far, things are looking positive, which is a breath of fresh air after the loss we had last year.
Thank you, Mr. Tinelli, for that report and for keeping the budget and the numbers together. We will move on to public safety and code enforcement. Over to you, Sean. Oh, I'm sorry, public safety, Acting Chief Fishcorn.
Okay, good evening. I'm just going to go over some highlights on my report. As you can see, violent crime is down 57% actually 58% year-to-date. Property crimes is down 48%. Our calls for service are up. Our arrests are up between last month and this month. We've had some community engagement. You can see that in the report. I want to highlight in upcoming events in March. I want to invite the residents to show up for the extravaganza that's going to take place at the David C. Harrington Park. That's something that, yeah, the extravaganza. That's something that the kids always like to come, and we have the Easter Bunny and everything there. The police department's actively recruiting for a police officer position and a dispatch position, so anyone that's interested, reach out to our department. I'll let you talk about GovPilot.
Okay.
We've made a couple notable arrests. One of them was on a domestic stabbing, where we located the person that was responsible and arrested them on February 18th. Another one was a victim that was struck in the head with a handgun, and we also made an arrest on that. I want to talk about the money that we received today from the congressional discretionary spending. The $450,000, that's going to help us. It's going to be a big project to work, but we also got other money from the state, from the governor's office of crime control prevention. That was $78,000. That's also for a boxing program. So we actually have 2 boxing program grants. So one of them, we have a meeting coming up on Wednesday to collaborate with some other agencies, because this is going to be a big project. So there's a lot of people that are interested in participating in this with us. We're going to have our community action team lead this, and we're going to have these other organizations help us out to start developing the programs. So this will be a mentorship program and an intervention program for the youth. So hopefully we'll get something good out of it. This is a good time for the officers to interact with the youth on a positive nature instead of on a negative nature, and hopefully that'll influence crime and gun violence in the future. That's all I have.
Thank you, Acting Chief Fishcorn. Next, we will have code enforcement. Over to you, Sean.
I think I can knock it out in 16 seconds. Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem and Council. I just want to give a brief overview of some things that have been going on for code enforcement. In the past month, we issued 47 snow and ice violations. Hopefully, we finally broke that final point, so we won't have to issue them anymore. We posted 1 residence in the 5400 block of Varnum Street of unfit because the property had no electricity. One of the other things is one of the odd calls we actually had in the town of Bladensburg. It was a first for me. In the 5300 block of Taussig Road, we got a call for an injured goose. I was able to apprehend the goose and take him to a sanctuary in Upper Marlboro for rehabilitation to hopefully be put back out in the community. And just an update, GovPilot is working well. We are actively using it. We just got the business license and the apartment rentals aspect up and running, and it's actually on our town website under code enforcement. So please take a look at it. Other than that, that's my report.
Thank you, Sean. Okay, over to our town administrator, Ms. Michelle Bailey-Ashby.
I'm going to just take a second of personal privilege to read something that I put in my report, and that's it, and I'll keep it short. I usually do Purnell's as well, which I've sent out to you. He does a wonderful job, and I can't say enough about Purnell right now, but I will focus on mine. Can you give me 2 seconds, Sean, so that I can get to my thing?
You're good.
Okay, perfect. And then I will comply with my time limit. I just needed to get back. I got lost 2 seconds. Okay, let me see. Oh, thank you. I'll go down to the 3rd page. Sorry, I just want to go down. Thank you. Is that? Oh, yours doesn't. Let me scroll. I'll scroll. Okay, good. Yeah, personal. Thank you. Okay, this is my final meeting, and I wouldn't be complete with acknowledging the people that have helped. Oh. Sorry. is my final meeting, and I would be incomplete without acknowledging people that helped me through this extraordinary journey. To my administrative team, Vito, Tina, Ray, Jessica, you've been an operational backbone of this organization. Your professionalism, steadiness, and commitment has carried me through complex budgets, grants, audits, and the daily demands. I want to also add, Jessica does a good job at protecting me from phone calls, even though she might not be the nicest person all the time. But she does protect me from any phone calls during the day, so I thank her for that. Because she's going to be taking the minutes, and I'll hear her to review this. Public Works, Mr. Hall and your team, you work on the visibility and have resurfaced roads, painted curbs, every improvement across the town. The beautification process, progress in the last 2 years speaks for itself. Thank you. Code enforcement, Sean, you and your team, thank you for advancing the property maintenance code. Did you not get any of it? Okay. All right. It doesn't work?
No, I heard
Does it work? Does it work in there? Are you getting me or no? Okay, so do you want me to pull it up like this? Okay. Okay, Sean, thank you for advancing the property maintenance code and for your institutional knowledge. You're a walking archive of Bladensburg history and development. To the police department, to the men and women of the police department who serve us day and night, and Acting Chief Fishcorn, your steady leadership and I want to thank Acting Chief Fishcorn for your steady leadership and transition during this period. It's been invaluable to me. Officers, you've always made me feel welcomed and supported. Your professionalism that you demonstrate in daily matters is more than you'll ever know and see. So thank you, Mayor and Council. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. Your trust has allowed me to pursue grants, implement policy reforms, modernize processes, strengthen financial transparency, and move key capital projects forward. Thank you for that. Residents, to every resident who's offered praise, critique, questions, accountability, thank you. Your constructive criticism has sharpened my decisions and encouraged me and sustained my momentum. My closing reflections are, there are projects I wish I could have seen through to completion. That's the nature of public service. We plant a seed knowing that they may harvest. During my tenure, we have done the following. Rito closed it. We've advanced strategic priorities. We've strengthened the financial oversight of the organization. We've expanded environmental initiatives. We've increased beautification efforts. We've elevated transparency and governance. We've moved historic preservation forward. And we've reinvigorated the business environment. The town has momentum. It has a strong foundation. The next town administrator will inherit an opportunity, direction, and a community ready to continue to move and rise. Bladensburg has been sweet to me. I leave with gratitude, pride, and just a test of wistfulness. I'm not far away, and I will always cheer for this town's success. With appreciation and respect, Michelle Bailey Hedgepeth.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. And now we'll move into Mayor and Council report over to Ward 2, Councilmember Blunt.
Don't have much to say, but again, this grant right here is wonderful. What you're doing, what you all plan to do with the nonviolence. I really support that because I have a nonviolence collection of clothes that I make and do in D.C. It's very important that we touch our youth in every way we can with this violent stuff because it's crazy. So again, I look forward to doing couple of projects with you all with this nonviolence. Not on the council level, but anyway, again, again, Michelle, yeah, this is your last meeting. Yeah, you sent us out with the Bible. But again, I can't say, it's been a pleasure. I like your working style. You came in and you made it happen. You made it happen. I know you had a lot of obstacles in your way, and we probably bugabooed you a lot, but you came with an agenda, and you got it, and you made it happen here at Bladensburg. You were the face of Bladensburg. I also would like to say, your buddy next to you, Vito. I mean, I've seen a lot of town administrators, a lot of people, the connection, and how you all worked together was wonderful. I know he was going through crap. I mean, I can't say certain words, but he was going through a lot, and when you came in, you made his workload easy. And I want to say the same thing with Pernell. I've been knowing Pernell a lot prior to me even being on the council, how you changed him, and his confidence level is here now.
Yes.
It used to be, he's good at what he do. We all know that, but his confidence level is here, and he owes that to you. You showing him the way and how you let him be the person that he needed to be. So, again, of course, we're gonna miss you. I'm not gonna. I don't know how we're gonna get somebody to fill your shoes. Did my minutes run? I got 32 seconds. But again, I mean, but I will say, I don't care if I never see a book like this again. I mean, when you put things in order, you put it in order. So again, I want you to soar where you go, because I'm looking forward to you coming back. You're going to miss Bladensburg. So even though I know they have you over there, but we will miss you here. We really will miss you here. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you, Councilmember Blunt. And now we're going over to Ward 1, Councilmember Brown.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, Mayor Pro Tem Dixon. So just really quick, as you all have said, we're definitely saying thanks for the congressional funding from our U.S. Senator Arthur Brooks, Van Hollen, Congressman Ivey, and even we had the 47th Legislative District here. They gave us proclamation as well. Delegate Diana Fennell, Senator Augustine, he was in the delegation. So you see, I'm pointing back this way. I'm pointing towards Annapolis. That's where he was. So that, I mean, I'm looking forward to that collaboration with the police department and just seeing the wonderful things that are gonna come out of that. I'm happy International Women's Month. I also attended the PGCMA meeting. I just want to remind people that April the 11th is the community meeting, so come out from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock on April the 11th. One other thing, I want to mention that the Summer Youth Employment Program, the County Summer Youth Employment Program has opened through to March 31st. So go online and make sure that you have your youth signed up. That's at syep.mypgc.us. Also, the Maryland General Assembly, they're in session. There are a lot of bills that they have, and still some to review. So over the next few weeks, it's going to be very hectic. And any bill that stands a chance has to pass and be voted on by one of the two chambers by March 23rd. So if you have a bill out there that's one of your favorites, now is the time to contact your legislator. So make sure you do that. And then I do want to give a special thanks, because I'm choked up as well, because Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth, she has been an asset to the town of Bladensburg. To see the hard work ethics and everything that was just reminded me of what we needed, and I appreciate that, the organizational skills, just all the contributions, just what you have brought to the town of Bladensburg. And so you left your mark here, you left a good positive Mark here. There are a lot of things that you were able to assist us with accomplishing. You even left us with the strategy plan, for a go forward, to that. We really, really appreciate you. I don't know, maybe didn't get enough thank yous. I don't know, but it was really, really, really appreciated. And, in our work, we had our work cut out for us, but this is good. This is good because this really shows how much work, because this is a lot of work. This is a lot of work. I mean, with all the grants, and I know, just give me a couple more minutes, indulge me, please. It's a lot of work because all of that goes into all these contracts, all these grants, just all that. And so, we do not take that lightly. It's a lot of heavy lifting and organizing and things that you've done and you contributed. So for that, we really, really do say thank you and wishing you the best on your endeavors as you move forward. We thank you so very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Brandt. Over to Councilmember McBride, Ward 2.
Good evening, everyone. My report, okay, I did attend the farm committee meeting, thanks to Michelle. She has helped me a lot with COG meeting. It's on. With the farm committee. Closer to the mic. She has helped me a lot with the farm committee and being truly committed to doing that along with American Bloom. I'm the garden and the flower person. So there are a lot of things that we will continue to see done. Thank you for the American Bloom. I was able to attend the graduation ceremony for Deaconess Givens, and wherein I received a reward for community service.
You received an award?
Yes, ma'am.
And you went by yourself?
Yes, ma'am. It was on the Black History Day. That's why. I'm sorry. And I'm looking forward to the programs that are going to take place with the police department. I want to say thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Thank you. You have been a true instrument. When you first came, I said, I have to go and talk to this lady. I got to see how she works. I don't know how one person does all this. But I thank you that I met you. You've been a great asset to me, even in my role. And being council member, you helped enlighten me on some things that I could do or I can do better and improve upon. And I appreciate that. I wish you the very best. Wish we didn't have to lose you, but you somewhere or another we'll run into each other. But thank you very much. That's it.
Thank you, Councilmember McBride, for your report. Thank you, each and every one of you, for your report. I, too, have my report. Again, good evening to the staff and residents. I want to take the opportunity to thank our police department, our acting chief, Fishcorn, and the police department for the hard work that they're doing, the public works department, code enforcement, thank you so much for the hard work. Mr. Tinelli, thank you on those number budget. Thank you so much. Thank the staff. I want to thank the staff as well for the hard work that they are doing here in the town of Bladensburg. I attended the COG meeting, PGCMA meeting, and also Ray, myself, and Michelle, we attended a meeting with Kaiser, just to let you know that we're having a health fair that is coming up on April the 18th, and we have, we actually partner with Kaiser for this health fair. We're going to be having OBGYN, family medicine, internal medicine, and we also have a couple of RNs as well as Miss Mallory as well from the Persona Touch Care Home. We'll be having free healthcare screening and wellness check. You'll be meeting local health providers, preventative care education, family recreation and activities, informative health session, free and open to the public. All ages are welcome. we have food, a lot of games and fun, but most of all, your health matters most to us. That is the reason why we have in this town, our town health fair. And we're looking forward to see everyone come out to support this health fair. I also want to add my own touch to Michelle. I had to write it because I didn't want to forget. I want to personally take a moment to say thank you for the incredible work you have done for the town of Bladensburg. And because I lived in Bladensburg and I'm the council of the town council, you have helped me too a lot. Your leadership, your dedication, and commitment to this community have truly made a lasting impact, not only on the council, but also to the residents. And during your time with us, you worked tirelessly to move our town forward. One of the things I admire most is your ability to secure numerous grants that brought important resources and opportunities to our community. Because of your efforts, Bladensburg is stronger and better positioning for the future. Working alongside you has been a pleasure. Your professional. Okay, Sean, give me some more time. The professionalism, your knowledge and steady leadership did not go unnoticed, and I truly, truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate the effort you put in serving our town. I have never seen a person like you. I don't know how you do it, but you do it, and you did. While we are so sad, especially for me to see you go, I am really sad. But I believe in growth, and I am excited for you as you step into this next chapter of your career. I know wherever you go, whatever you do, you will continue to make a meaningful difference. Thank you again for your service, your dedication, and for everything you have done for the town of Bladensburg. You will always be appreciated. I will always appreciate you, and I wish you nothing but continued success and blessings in your next role. The next organization is so lucky and going to be very lucky to have such an amazing person like you, a person that's full of details, a person that is smart, brilliant, go above and beyond. Take time. Who take time from their house to go to work on a Saturday? I'm not doing that. So I really do appreciate you a lot, and I am going to surely miss you. Thank you. It's a sad time. It's a sad time for. It's really a sad time for us, and while we really want you to stay, I believe in growth and development. I believe in moving up and up. They say the sky is the limit. Take your wings and fly. Take your wings and soar. Thank you for your work. All right. We know the mayor is not here tonight, and I know she will give her own greetings, and her report is online again. Thank you, each and every one, for tuning in tonight. Have a great night, and God bless you. Meeting adjourned.
Very good. We don't have to go for a vote for the end, okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I said, move, oh, she didn't say, it. Y'all wait left from us.
Because y'all get me so, whew.
I was waiting on you.
Okay. And with that said, is there a motion to move this meeting closed?
So move.
Councilmember Blunt move. Is there a second?
I second.
Councilmember McBride second. Is there any comment before we go?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.
Aye.
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 I'm sorry.